their gardens years ago, did a whole thing, and my mother was inspired by English gardens.
I love it.
And there's
Victoria
a lot of
magazine.
purple. Yes.
And you know who else loves purple and blue? Butterflies.
Do they?
So butterflies are attracted to that color. Well, I'll let you.
Yes, okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to be the host.
No, that's okay. We're going to start off with the three people. Well, I'm listening to you like you're my host because you taught me so much about plants. So, okay, we're starting off with the three-piece Picture Purrfect Catmint live plants. Now we know that you are an animal lover, as am I, so I know that is a big inspiration when it comes to the flowers and the live plants that you're bringing to us here at QVC. But the Picture Purrfect Catmint live plants is coming home for $26.98. This is a perennial, great in your gardens, your borders, but you're getting 3 actively growing plants for $5.40. These are no fuss. Over 800 orders have been placed just this season, and it's safe for your pets, but your pets also love it, correct?
Well, the thing is, I'm proud that this collection is a lot of things that are considered non-toxic.
Yes.
And you know, we can't make an official statement because with animals, it just depends on how big the pet is and how much they eat of something. But you know, catmint is absolutely safe for cats. It's actually kind of a distant cousin of catnip.
Is it?
So it's not as strong as catnip, but your cats, if you have an outdoor cat, you'll find it just laying in a bed of this.
Really?
Because they love it. But you'll love it too because of the beautiful early purple blooms. So guys, this is a full sun perennial. So this is going to come back every year. It's very easy to grow. And it's also one of the very first flowers of spring. And we like to say it brings the bees.
It brings the bees.
Because it's one of the first things that are going to attract those pollinators to your yard. And by bees, we mean butterflies and bees, as well as hummingbirds. So they're all going to love it.
They're all going to be attracted to it.
This is something that you can grow in a pot. Everything in my collection can be grown in a pot if you're no longer digging up your yard and doing a full-blown garden. This will be absolutely stunning and will come back every year. Safe to overwinter this in a pot. It is hardy all the way up to 3, which is Canada.
Oh.
So it can, if you're in Minnesota, this is fine.
What does that mean to overwinter it?
So that means you don't have to pull it into the garage.
Okay.
If you want to leave it in the pot over the winter, leaving it outside on your deck or something, it'll be absolutely fine. But this is something that is more of a dwarf variety. A lot of these catmint type plants will get very leggy and flat. And you'll end up with like holes in the middle. This has like a mounding property, which is the other thing we really liked. It's more dense and not leggy. So when you look into this plant, you don't see the ground underneath. You just see lots of foliage and flowers.
I like the broadness of this.
Yeah.
And I love the shape of the blooms here. And I love the colorways. It almost ombres from light blues to these violets and purples.
So this is what you're gonna get. And just so you, these are the real flowers here. And they're absolutely stunning. You're gonna have so much purple and then beautiful fragrant mint type foliage, which the deer don't like. So this is very deer resistant, although attractive to your kitty cats. So, and you know, again, if you have dogs in the garden, safe for those guys as well.
Oh, good.
But what happens with this is it blooms really early. It blooms before your peonies, also certainly before your lavender. So what I like to do is maybe plant this with some lavender because this is gonna bloom early and then your lavender will start blooming and your catmint will take a little rest. But then, as the lavender, and the catmint will stay then green during the middle part of summer, but then as the lavender starts to die off and it's spent for the year, then your catmint comes back with lots more purple for the fall. So,
it comes back in the fall?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're getting a lot of spring purple and then again a lot of fall purple, but you'll have the beautiful green foliage all summer long. So I like, Julia, to stagger what blooms in my garden. So I plant things that are going to bloom early in the spring, and then as they're ending, I love things that are now going to come out, like my roses and my daisy-type plants are going to start coming out, my petunias in early summer, and then I also love things that are going to rebloom or start blooming in the fall. So you've always got flowers.
What's the height on these? Because I love how they sort of grow up.
They're only about 12 inches tall, but they are going to be about twice that wide, so about 24 inches wide. So these are not considered a ground cover. These are not going to be flat, so you're going to get about a foot tall of purple. And so it's a beautiful front row plant, great in a pot. You'll have, it's perfectly happy in a pot. You'll have the tendrils hanging down and the purple flowers pointing up. But doesn't that picture right there look like Colonial Williamsburg or an English garden.
Yes.
You know, kind of with things growing everywhere. That's what my garden looks like. That is not my garden.
Oh, okay.
but that's what mine looks like. Whereas, like Philip likes to do a very structured garden,
Right.
and it looks absolutely stunning. Of course, he's a garden designer. But I just liked, you know, seeing, well, let's see, wonder what that plant would look like in there. There's a gap. Let's stick that in there. And I end up, you know, having lots of different things growing all over the place, and I like that look.
It gives it kind of this wild,
Kind of a messy, wild garden.
idea, this organic feel to it. But I'm just loving the color payoff of the Picture Perfect Catmint. Now you're getting 3 of the
Yes.
actively growing live plants that look just like this right here,
Yeah.
right?
So our plants are, we don't do dinky, as I like to say. So our plants are ready to go. They're all in an Ellie pot, which you don't peel that off. This is just protecting the soil in there.
Okay.
And it also encourages the roots to grow downward so they can reach more water. Speaking of that, these like the sun.
Right.
They are very low maintenance. You're going to want to water in all of your baby plants when you first get them and make sure the roots get established. But after that, this can grow someplace maybe where your hose doesn't even reach.
Right.
As long as it gets the rain.
And I see we're getting a growing guide too, which
Yeah,
this
and
girl
you'll
always
get
needs.
a growing guide with every plant, which we put together. It describes the plant itself, how it's going to do in a pot, what size pot,
Okay.
what to do when you first get it. And then we're not leaving you hanging like in the middle of June. Like, now what? Is it supposed to look like that? Is it
Right?
supposed to be bigger than that? So you'll know what to expect. And if you have any questions, please call the number in the growing guide, or you can even post on my Facebook page.
Ooh, I love that. $5.40 brings it home on 5 easy pays is M95045. Oh. Okay, now I'm going to be an awkward model, Carolyn.
This is the girl version of Alberti.